Hey Shin, welcome in. I see it's your first time chatting here. Hope you're in. Well, I'm assuming you've been to the stream before and just haven't chatted before. Otherwise, it'd be strange we'd be the first person into this stream and the first time chatting. Preparing for this, friend just tried the game of the weekend for the first time. Pressure on the feedback to address in addition to last minute tasks. Yeah. This is pretty much the same today, command. I think we're good. We're gonna code auto battling. What happened to chat? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And hey, Schwartz. Well, glad you liked it enough to come back and be here right on time. Yeah, we're gonna make auto battling. And I have an idea of how I'm going to do this. So I don't really think it's going to be too hard, but let's see. Hey, Darkstorm. Oh, and then eventually we need to save auto battling. Save the auto battle. Actually, do we want to save that? Maybe you should have to set that up every time again. I don't know. Save the auto battle settings. I'll just put a question mark because I don't know for sure that we want to do it. Okay, so end battle screen. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on here now. This isn't even the right scene. This probably means Godot's going to crash. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so I was thinking we could put a little checkbox next to repeat battle. Should actually be really simple. Just call the start battle on battle ended. It's a little more complicated than that because we need to have a timer counting down and a progress bar showing. That way you have time in between the battles to still read the screen and see what items you got. But it's still not too bad. So repeat battle button, instead of being there, is going to be in an HBox container. So we put this up here. And we call this repeat controls, I guess. And then put this in there. And then also add in a auto repeat button. I always do that. Go there. Yeah, there. All right, save that. Then this should just be a checkbox. There's some way to do that. Maybe it was a different kind of button. Option button. Button that brings up a drop down, not that. Check button, here it is. Binary choice. Yeah, whoops. Okay, well then put that there. And then I guess we need a label. Maybe we put this to the side. That is not the side. Oh, this is the hardest part of this task. And then can we, oh, we can auto battle. Nice, I like that. Okay, cool. So yeah, we have a button. Now, when checked, it'll automatically kick off a timer. Yeah, so we need to go fix some things up. End battle screen. I want to get that button. Private, what's it called? Checkbox? I think it's a checkbox. Is it what they said represents a binary button? Oh my God, what is this? Check button. Button, is that a thing? Yeah, it is. All right, this is going to be auto repeat button. Cool. Then the repeat battle button comes from a container. We're going to say control repeat controls equals container.get. No, that looks good. Then this comes from the repeat controls, as does this auto repeat button. Okay, well, I know you already had tested your email. I just thought I'd throw that in there. But hi. I already hate their naming. I mean, check button isn't too bad. I don't know what checkbox is. Where did this come from? Is this even Godot? It is. Allows the user to choose one of only two possible options. Similar to check button, but it has a different appearance. Used when toggling it has no immediate effect. Interesting. Okay, well. It makes you laugh. All right, I'm glad. I was like, is this a waste of my time? Is he even going to see this? Did he already delete the email address? Cannot convert button. Oh yeah, this should be check button. Okay, next we need a listener on whatever it's called. Toggled, I guess. Why are there two different things for pressed and toggled? What is pressed? Emitted when it is toggled or pressed. And toggled is the same but has the Boolean. Why are these two different things? How does base button have toggle? Godot check button. I'm probably just going to use toggled, but I don't understand. Yeah, it doesn't even come from here. What? Why did they put this here? That's strange. All right, well, I'm going to use that. Okay, so toggled plus equal auto repeat toggled. Then we'll go make a function for that. Private void bool is on. What's it called? Toggled on. Okay. So what does this mean? When this is enabled, I guess the instances manager needs to know this because the instance can't know that it's going to auto repeat. Or if it does, well, I guess the instance doesn't. I don't actually remember. Maybe it goes away. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, that's a catch-all. Okay, I see. I was gonna say it would be a little strange if you were checking it constantly, even when you got your test email. But yeah, now you know. Now I know how to harass you. Let's go find out. Does the instances manager make a new instance when you repeat the battle? On request repeat battle. Request repeat. This goes over to here. We call create. I'm assuming create actually creates something. Yes, it does. So wait. Yeah, clear. Yeah, cool. Hey, Trackley. Yeah, so then let's store it in instances manager. This is going to keep track of where we have auto repeat on. This didn't even need to be here. So private bool instance auto repeat. It's false, false, false. Now I'll just write a comment why this is here. Yeah, no interviews lined up. It's a task of mine to line them up. So this week is a very, very narrow focus, just game stuff. Then next week is going to be music and catch-up stuff. And some of the catch-up stuff is like getting through my emails, putting interviews online, possibly reaching out to another person for interviews. I think the next person I'm going to reach out to is going to be Melmsy, and I think the topic will be game design. But I'll probably also ask, Melmsy made a very, very popular bot on Discord called Dank Memer. I think it's got a ludicrous amount of users. Is there a way to see? I don't know. Maybe this. The #1 Discord bot list. How many people use this? 8.63 million. Is that ratings? Wow. Yeah. Well. The questions are so good. Well, thanks, Trackley. Yeah. Yeah, I hope I can keep doing them. I think a couple things are going to need to change. I think one, I probably need to be able to advertise topics ahead of time. And two, I probably also need to find sort of prominent figures in some industry. Because I started out in the first two, and I liked all the interviews. This is not me saying anything bad about any of the interviews, but the first two were just friends of mine. That's it. There wasn't like a, hey, I've got some major agenda here or something. It was like, let's just figure out how interviews work. And I could keep doing that, but I don't know if it'd be as easy to market. Yeah. Can you store the repeat in the instance manager? It's one script for 3 slots. Yeah, we already do it to keep track of instances. Yeah. I think it makes sense for now. I was just about to write the reason why we store this here and not in each instance is that the instances get recreated for each battle. So we could do this in like one of 3 ways. Either store it here, so that's what I'm going to go with. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, never mind. I won't finish the rest of that thought then. I was going to say the other thing we could do, I'll partially finish it, is that we could make it so instances don't get recreated, but that's probably very, very tough. So I think this is just the easiest thing to do. Okay, make it read only. I don't care about linting errors right now. So when you toggle this, we need to set it, and then we're going to need timers as well. So auto repeat toggle, we're going to just need to send a thing upward. Action bool. We know the slot number, right? Bool and int on toggled auto repeat, on toggle auto repeat. The slot never becomes null again. Yeah, actually that's true. It can start as null, but then it can't get to be null again. Yeah. And if you're a robotics engineer or something, I have so many questions how AI changed the industry. I'm open to doing that. I just I don't know any robotics engineers. And the other thing too is I feel like software is sort of my wheelhouse. So I sort of know what questions to just generally ask because they're just things that come to the top of my head. But with robotics, it had to be a lot of me probing into what robotics involves. And no. None of the last 3 interviews are on YouTube yet. I want to put them up next week. I know it's a very long delay before doing that, but I've just had other priorities. Yeah. So let's say, just random thing. Let's say I got to interview someone like Bill Gates, right? Which is probably never going to happen. But let's say I did. That's not the kind of interview you just waltz into and say like, okay, I got a few questions. You need to do research. You need to be prepared. You probably need to like practice asking these questions to other people or think of possible responses. That's a level of interview you need to be like super prepared for. And if you just, pick random friend X, this is an interview you could kind of just be like, all right, here are the general topics. Let's just figure it out as we go. Now, even with that said, the interviews I've been doing are not just like walk in there and, make up questions on the spot. I've prepared a list and then I just kind of go with what feels right in the moment. Mystical Cell, welcome. Thanks for subbing. So I gotta be careful if we get to like super prominent figures. And yeah, like I think Hot Ones is a good example of an interview show done well. There's a lot of research that goes into that. All right, we're gonna invoke this with the ID. Wait, why doesn't that work? Oh no, it's the slot number I want. Slot number, yeah. Okay, now this needs to be listened to by this end screen. And I'm only going to allow you to toggle this at the end of a battle. You can turn it off at any point, but you can only turn it back on at the end of a battle. I think that's pretty reasonable. That way you can see what it is you did, whether you won and lost, as opposed to just setting in the middle of a battle and losing like 20 in a row. Strike a balance between professionalism and laid-back approach are a great combination. Over researching can hinder the spontaneous simple questions. Yeah, well, and I haven't gotten to the point where I've needed to overly research, but let's say, and I said Bill Gates as an example, but imagine someone like, I like the creators of Godot, for example. There's probably a lot of research I could do ahead of those kinds of interviews. So I could be like, oh, here's the news that happened in the Godot territory and all these other things. Yeah, Steve Jobs. Yep. I'm gonna go grave digging and hope there's a list of answers to my made up questions. All right, so on toggle repeat, we'll just say on toggle auto repeat or toggle to auto repeat. Good. Generate. Also good. I think it'd be nice if it named these based on what I had in the signal, but I guess it doesn't really matter. So toggled on and then slot number. Yeah, web export when. That's my only question. Drop the microphone. Don't even listen to the response. So we're definitely going to set this. And then we need to do a bunch of things. We need to start a timer. Well, actually, we only need to start it if it was on. So if toggled on, then start a timer. Else end the timer if it was started, which I guess it must have been if it's toggling it on. What else? Kick off a timer. Then show the progress of the timer. How do timers work in Godot? I always forget this. There's a way to create one. Oh man, I probably did this somewhere in the code. Let's just search for timer. Aha! Here's one. Yeah, so we make a new timer. We actually add it as a child. We could always have these in the scene. Yeah, there could just be 3 timers in the instance manager. And they need to be separate timers because there could be 3 different auto battles going on. Yeah, I think this is pretty reasonable. And then set a timeout function, a wait time, 1 shot. I guess this would be a 1-shot timer. Yeah. Okay, let's copy all of this. Unfortunately, this is getting a little bit ridiculous. We probably want some like instance metadata that we store around, but yeah, for now. auto repeat timers. All right, what should these be? I guess null, null, null. Does that work? It does. These are the 140 watt ones. You can plug in your laptop anywhere. 140 watts. Wow. I was gonna say I can plug in my laptop, I think, to even cell phone chargers. It just won't charge quickly, but I'm pretty sure it charges. But I do have a couple of beefier ones that I tend to use. I think the important thing also is the length of the cable. There are a lot of cables that I have which would work, but then the laptop has to be like dangling from the cord. All right, so these start off as null. Then we need to do one of these. Timer, add child. We should probably name it as well. Timer.name equals instance. Should this be I+1? No, in the scene tree, it'll be obvious that it's 0, 1, 2. Yeah, I think this is fine. Hey, chilling. Cable definitely matters. Okay, add it. We want to set some other properties here. Some of these can be put into the initializer up above. The wait time, I guess we always say is 5 seconds, at least for now. What else? One shot, set to true. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We're not even starting them yet. And then there does need to be a tick thing here that knows which slot it belonged to. Maxed out M3 as a thermal design power. Is that what that is? Thermal design power? 76 watts? Isn't that what it runs at, though? What it can charge at could be arbitrarily faster or slower than that. At least that's my basic understanding. I'm very much not fully in the know here. All right, on timer tick, this is like on auto repeat timer timeout. And we actually need to pass in the slot number I. Yeah, and we're not starting these. And that's it. So we're slowly getting there. Private void this int slot number. So when you toggle, I apparently didn't write what to do for that. When you toggle this, we're going to start the right timer. Timers slot number dot start. Yeah. And in this case, we do a, is there a stop? Is there a reset? Does this always start at 0? Or start at whatever the wait time is? Starts the timer if it was not started already. Fails the timer if it's not inside the tree. If time is greater than 0, this will be used for the wait time. Does not resume a paused timer. There's no such thing as pausing the way I'm going to do this, though. But I don't know if stop and start reset the time. Is there a reset? There's literally just stop and start. Then maybe we should just specify the wait time when we do this. Again, it takes 7 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, really, that's not too bad if you charge it overnight. But yeah, I know what you mean. And I think the more, the faster you charge it, the less electricity you'll use overall, or the less you'll waste overall. I think that's at least the case with electric cars. Yeah, so the wait time should be specified then when we actually start the timer. So I guess let's delete the wait time from here. And put a trailing comma here. New can be simplified. Oh, it doesn't let you. How does it say new can be simplified if it... Oh, I see. That's just me being dumb. Okay, so let's make a private const auto repeat delay equals 5 and just say in seconds. Then when we start the timer, we'll put the delay in there. Name auto repeat delay does not exist. Did I forget a float? Yes. Start, does start take a float? No, it takes a double. Okay. All right, there. Cool. So start and stop. And then once it has ticked, we get down to here, and that's where we need to call repeat. So how does repeating work? Repeat. What? Where's repeat done? On request repeat. Oh, I see. Request repeat takes in an instance. Okay. So we want to do the same thing, but if this fails, we need to stop the timer. Actually, I guess we stop the timer either way. I guess, yeah, when a battle gets done. Okay. What are we going to do? We could just invoke this with the slot. Yeah. I think that would work. We don't have a way of knowing if this failed. That's the problem. So we would need to be able to say that this should be off. But let's try this out. I think this alone should already be functional. So what's going to happen is we should be able to auto repeat a battle, whether you won or lost, it doesn't matter. And after 5 seconds of clicking the button, it should start. But then that's it. That's all this will do. So I start, I click win, we check this box and then count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does not seem to work. Okay. Well, we failed even earlier than I thought we would. 177. So this must be null. How could it be null though? Oh, because I never set it. I mean, yeah, obviously I never set it. But what I mean is I never put it in here. Yeah, my bad. There. Does it have win or lose conditions? Only win conditions, which is you, I think you find an antidote and you sell the antidote. I think that's pretty much it. But no, there's no way to lose. I don't want there to be a way to lose. I want this to be a laid back game. I don't want there to be like bad decisions. And a lot of the code for this or a lot of game design follows that. So like, let's say you put all your points in a quicker strike and you're like, oh, actually this is a bad decision. Then just right click it and remove the points and put them in somewhere else. So it's like nothing you do is really permanent. And there are some things you can't undo. Like eventually you'll be able to choose which adventurer you hire. So let's say I got the mage and I was like, oh, actually I don't want the mage. Well, too bad. Fine. You got the mage now. But yeah, most things you can undo. I start buying devices with European plug sockets, or do I always use an adapter? I think getting a couple of adapters is good. And then if you feel like you're accumulating... Oh, I guess you'd use the adapters back in the UK as well, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably get this stuff for where you're currently living. Or maybe put like a threshold on how long you should live there before you start getting those kinds of plugs. Can't undo allocated Skeleseller points? Yeah, you can. It's already in the game. And even this says you can freely add or remove here by right and left clicking. So you can, yeah, left click anything. And even cloning you can undo. So if you right click it, the skeleton will just disappear. So yeah, I made sure that all this stuff will work. There would be a problem if there were ever an upgrade that you shouldn't be able to undo. So let's say you could get a shop item display and then you could remove it, which even then we could just allow you to do that. But yeah, then we would need this concept of non-refundable points. Wouldn't it be more exciting if you could lose, make you pay attention and be more excited about it? I don't know if you necessarily need to lose to do that. So I guess the concept of lose is like a game over screen or something, but it could just be some sort of penalty. And I think Stardew Valley is a good example of this. Stardew Valley, as far as I know, has no lose condition. There's no way to just like, you lost the game, sorry, restart from the beginning. It's just, there's an exhaustion factor. And then if you get exhausted or if you die, I think either one of these things, you either lose time or items or money or some combination of them. And like, that's it. Yeah, this game could have something like that. I mean, you could lose a battle, which is essentially losing time. The battle could eventually cost money, and then you're kind of losing money. Or there could be some concept of like thieves that go through your town and steal items. Yeah. But I don't know. And this is something I'll have to see as we play the game. Like, does it feel fun? What if I upgrade cloning and then undo Swift shoes? I will show you. So there's my adventurer. I put points into Swift shoes. I upgrade cloning. I right click Swift shoes. When I get rid of the last one, you see my skeleton there and there. I right click Swift shoes. Oh, is that a bug? That's a bug. Wait a sec. Yeah, I didn't. Oh, I didn't count on that. Huh. Good job. Yeah, my bad. We got to fix that. Pre-launch bug, right clicking Swift shoes takes points out of cloning but doesn't kill the clone. Yeah, a dead robot. They maybe be slower than customers. Your adventurers could chase them. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if like maybe you could click them and then you get in a battle with the thief, and the thief's level is, well, I guess it's always got to be something you can win. Otherwise, you just like an item gets stolen and you just lose it, and there's nothing you can do because you try battling them and you die anyway. Although I don't know if that's a level of micromanagement that would be annoying. You'd have to really visually point out thieves. They need like this aura of evil around them. There are bats flying and smoke coming out of them, and they, yeah. Okay, what had I done that I think I hadn't added the timer, and now I did, and then I got sidetracked by something else. So let's try this again. We're gonna start a battle. We're gonna win the battle. We're gonna click auto repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. We have another problem. Index is out of the bounds of the array. Our slot number starting at 1, because if so, I think we just gotta undo that. I don't know, but that's my guess. 57 of instances manager. Index is outside of the bounds of the array. What? Out of the bounds. Instant slot control should be 3, right? Yeah, what? I'm very confused about that. Yeah, 0, 1, and 2. Slot number is here. Instance slots. 0, 1, 2. Yeah, I don't see a problem. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, then let's set a breakpoint. No easier way to find out than to do that. Click here and click up here. Done, and restart. Okay, so first one should be 0. Yep, it's 0. Next one is 1. I wonder if this is a closure value where it's capturing the I for later. I don't know. But whatever. All right, there we go. Then we click this, and yeah, we wait. We just wait for this thing to hit. There. Slot number is 3. So yeah, I think I'm correct about that. So how do we fix this? Do we have anything else that's stored here? No. We could. Could we, is there like a bind in C#? C# Godot signal bind. I think there's a way to do this. You want to bind values to a signal. To do so, you can use an anonymous function like the following example. Wait a sec, though. This doesn't work the way I want it to. Why is it 3 anyway? Well, at least my assumption is that I is becoming 3 at the end of this loop, and it's getting captured in a closure here, but I don't think that's how C# should work. So I'm not entirely positive. Although maybe it is. Also, I have the remote thing over here, right? I can... I hate when this crashes. Oh. And now this is going to be frozen. It doesn't even reopen Godot when I do this. I choose reopen, and it just doesn't do anything. I heard closure question. Is this a problem in C# like it is with JavaScript? If I put this here, I'm in a for loop. If you just ignore pretty much everything else, I'm in a for loop, and I am trying to call a function that is defined as an anonymous lambda. Because I know for sure in JavaScript this is bad. Make a local variable in the block. Okay. Slot number equals I. Yeah, okay. So it is a problem. All right, I'll do that. Yep. And I'll write a note about that in a second. So we don't care about this. Actually, we don't really care about this either. It should just work, right? Well, let's keep the breakpoint there, I guess. All right. Oh, I really should not have kept this timeout at 5 seconds because I need to wait 5 seconds every time I test this. But this time this should be the number 0. Yeah. Good job, Godot. And it looks like it worked. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it work. So we're going to toggle this again. And then wait 5 seconds, and it should just repeat the battle. Nice. Now, something interesting happened there, which is when the battle is finished, it should remember that auto repeat was set. Auto battle is checked properly. End of the battle. If it was checked at the beginning and wasn't canceled. Why is it going to 3? So the way that for loops work. Oh my God. What's going on with that? Okay, yeah. The way the for loops work is this number is 3. So I actually will hit 3 before we evaluate this condition, which is what lets this break out of the loop. And what this is doing is it was capturing the value of I at the end of the loop. Yeah, local scope capture. I think the real thing is it's lexical scoping. C#. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's not that it's a reference to the number. It's what gets captured in that lambda that gets created. So it's still going to be the value. It's just, it's captured at the wrong time. Anyway, I want to put this somewhere, and I'm just not sure where to put this. Troubleshooting. Anonymous lambdas. Capturing the wrong value. Can I make like a C# playground for this? How hard is it to do this? We make a public void print into I console.writeLine I for 0 less than 10 I plus plus. What even is this? Var whatever C equals print I. If I call this immediately, it's not going to do anything, right? I don't know what this var is, though. That's the problem. All right, let's find out by doing this. Place tabs with spaces. Is that what that just did? Function object. Okay, that's what we want. So I guess I want to store a list of these. Functions equals that. functions.add. And then we iterate over all these and try calling the function. And then we just need list, which I think comes from there. All right, can we run this? Curly brace expected. Now what, we need C#10 or whatever? Don't we need .NET 10 for this? The generics feature? The return types in the block are not implicitly convertible to the delegate returned. All right, I don't care about this. Live and die by link pad. Is that I see, yeah. Is it a one-time purchase thing? Yeah. Hey, Miki. Missing a curly brace. Is that all it was? Yeah, you're right, I was. But I think we still can't convert from void to object. Can we just say this is void? Keyword void can't be used. Using generic type requires a type argument. Int? I don't know. This is, oh, I see. It's, we got to figure out what it's, how to specify its return value, right? Func with no return. Func delegate with no return. T result. Action is the solution to that? Yeah, that's what I probably should have used that whole time. Hey, we did it. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to show here, and I'm gonna copy this. Okay, so I don't care about the right line. The rest of this stuff, I guess, is fine. So example program. The output of this program is, I guess I'll write it like this, 10, 10, 10, 10, and not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. To fix this, simply make a local variable. Well, I guess I'll just write it right in here, right? No. What is with the spacing here? All right, I'm not doing this. We're just going to write the function again. Oh, I think it's using tabs. I think that's why. So int local I equals I. Paste that in there. Put this in a new block. Simply copy I into a local variable and use that. Yeah. Nice. Only outputs function 0. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, for my notes, that should definitely be there. And yeah, Caleb said the same thing. Thank you both. Is that a unicorn? It's just a corn. And yeah, it is slightly customized, I guess. I got more information here, Miki, in the keyboard video. All right, so that was a little sidetrack, which, what is the outcome of that? We fixed the problem, and then I guess auto battle is working in its most basic form now, and then it repeats one battle. So now we need it to repeat many battles. Any reason you chose Godot or another popular one for indie dev like Unity? Mostly just familiarity. The last engine I used before this had been Godot, and then the last one before that was Godot. And then before that it was Unity. So I haven't used Unity now in like probably 10 years really. Other than one day of streaming years ago. And I figured that Godot should work for what I'm trying to do. So it wasn't like, well, if I pick Godot, I've got to accept all of these cons. I feel like it wasn't any real cons I'm accepting. And with Unity, I felt like, well, eventually, who knows, maybe payment becomes a problem. Yeah, Unity did lose a lot of respect and trust. I think the payment debacle, I mean, when they change out the CEO as a result of one of those kinds of decisions, you know, it must have been bad. Not using DH, just regular old Colmac. Yeah, I am still a little torn on the whole switch in general. I switched in June of last year, and I think it took one whole year to get sort of back to where I was. And even then, I feel like I'm still more competent with QWERTY, but I think in another maybe a year, I should hopefully be back to my regular QWERTY speed. All right, so this is done. Show progress of the timer in the UI. Let's do that toward the end. When the timer hits 0, repeat the current battle. It's possible to use an adventure elsewhere, so it can't start. Let's turn off auto battle. We don't know that's the case. I think this is another cleanup thing we're going to do. Reset the timer when a battle completes. Automatically start it if auto battling was enabled. So the problem is the end battle screen doesn't get initialized with the auto battle property. Where do we initialize it at all? Here. Result instance. Yeah, we got to have is auto battle on. This should only ever be called from this one location though, so it should be pretty easy. Yeah. All right, what do we call it? Auto. What did I call this? Instance auto repeat. Instance auto repeat. Yeah, and I need the slot number. We could just construct the instance with this. All right, so this takes in a bool auto repeat. Wait, why am I doing this? Oh, because of the end battle screen. Yeah, of course. All right, now somewhere there is an auto repeat thing that I got. Auto repeat button, there it is. So we're going to set that. What's the property called? Set. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. What's it called? Checked. No, wait. That's a texture. Toggle mode. Would not have called it toggle mode. Is that right? Well, I'm trying to access the wrong thing this whole time anyway. But yeah, there we go. This equals auto repeat. Name auto repeat button doesn't exist in the current context. That would only mean that I hadn't saved it. Yeah, it's a repeat battle button. No, it is the auto repeat button. What am I talking about? How would it not exist in the current context? Because I called it something wrong? Because I spelled it with 3 T's the original time. The button. Or what I miss. You already know how to touch type with QWERTY? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Never know how to touch type in the first place. It was faster. Yeah, yep. That's what I think is a compelling reason for a lot of people. If you type incorrectly, then learning a new layout lets you not have any bad practices. So you might be faster right off the bat. But I was typing pretty quickly with QWERTY. And I think, the way I usually say this is there are a lot of common bigrams and trigrams that you just get used to, like TH, THA, THE. Those are all really, really common. And probably within the first week or two of typing, those are going to be really embedded in your muscle memory. And there are a lot of weird ones. C# has CSH, which in English, like you probably never type. I don't know where else that shows up. So it's like you just have to make mistakes on that enough times before you finally realize, oh, okay, that's the order it goes in, and you just get it in your muscle memory. Anyway, that's why I think it just takes a year, 2 years, something like that, because you just got to mess up every diagram and every trigram. Really made you faster was learning touch type. Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, there's not a big reason to switch. I really think the only 2 reasons are hand strain and speed, and maybe you count accuracy as part of speed, but that's kind of it, right? There's no like flashiness or like, oh, security with your keyboard because other people can't use it. Those aren't real reasons. The biggest benefits are these, and for me, I didn't have hand strain problems. It was like maybe this will help prevent them. I think the biggest motivator for me was just interest in trying a different layout. And I made a video on this whole process. And if anyone is ever in this position where they're like, oh, I want to learn a new layout, or I'm, whatever, 50 years old and I'm learning something, I suggest watching this video because it's a very kind of personal take on what it was like learning a new layout. In short, it was frustrating. It was fun, but it was also frustrating. And that frustration made me question a lot of things. Yeah, no, thanks for the resub. Elaborate further about the rationale of retiring the breaks tenant. Was it simply because you've already incorporated regularly hourly breaks? Yeah, pretty much that. I've got the rationale in my tenants thing, which I think you have access to if you go to today.adamlearns.com. So that link definitely works. I know you have access to that, but then all the way at the bottom, there's a links section. Yeah, all are public. Yeah, so you should have access to the tenants. And then in the tenants, I have the retired ones. And for breaks, I said, I think I've gotten pretty good about taking them. Thanks to Jump Royale, they're all at least a few minutes long. Yeah. And I've been kind of more intentionally skipping them lately too. I don't know if that's helping or hurting. If I already type around 60, it is that much of a benefit on changing. Basically, coding is slow by definition. I think you could probably improve beyond 60, but I don't think switching will necessarily do that. I think just learning to type better will probably do it. And I do think typing faster helps for more than what people think it does, even if you're a programmer. Like, do you ever write an email? Do you ever text your friends with a computer that you're using? Do you ever, whatever, type search queries or something? Those are things where you're usually limited by your typing speed and not by your thought process. Like if I'm sending a message to a friend, I'm not like, what exact words am I going to say? It's just typing it out. And same thing, writing documentation, writing notes to yourself, your to-do list, those sorts of things. Yes, coding, a lot of people are not limited on their typing speed. If you type at like 1 character per minute, yeah, you're probably limited on your typing speed. But even then, you could probably just use some like voice dictation software and not be limited anymore. I guess it was also besides the break tenant, generally asking about your process for retiring. Yeah, if it becomes ingrained in my mentality, I try to retire it. And if it's somehow no longer a problem, like let's say, I don't know, you had a tenant to like go into the office 3 times a week and then the office closes. It's like, okay, retire the tenant. I always review what I'm saying. My thoughts are almost always backwards. Yeah. I mean, there could always be some compounding factor here. Never recommend it to anyone else unless they just want to. Yeah. Yeah. I actually do have a thought about this, by the way. So I think the bane of programming is context switching. And I mean the act of programming. If you're like, oh, I'm typing out, I'm thinking about my code, and then you're like, what's over there? Then you just probably immediately forget everything. And I think that typing can become a context switch. If you did type at, let's say, 1 character per minute, and you're trying to type out 400 characters, then it's going to take you 7 minutes to do that. And in that time, you might have forgotten what you're doing. So that's an extreme example. But yeah, there's probably times when if you just type something faster, you wouldn't have had to context switch. And that's the reason I think it could actually potentially make you more efficient. Then again, it could also make you think, well, it's not a cost to type something, so I'm just going to start typing without knowing what I'm about to do. Brain is becoming mush. I'm sorry to hear that, Miko. Also, we have Miki and Miko in chat. Not the biggest benefit. The biggest one IMO is not having to use the mouse while typing, just by looking at the screen. Yeah, and a lot of that is hotkey usage. Also, I mean, if you look at my hand right now, it's on my keyboard, and yet I can control the mouse through the keyboard. So you could also do something like that with one of these keyboards. Anyway, we should now have this thing set correctly, which means battles should just repeat automatically. I'm going to try setting the timer down to like 2 seconds so it doesn't take as long to test. And let's try this out. That's how you play shooter games. Yep, using the keyboard. You imagine how good you would have to be at so many different skills to use a keyboard mouse? Where did this print go? Thought I removed that. Dan, thanks for the resub. 8 years. Well, I hope to live up to that. Yeah, I appreciate it though. All right, so we're going to win the battle. We're going to click auto battle, count to 2. That immediately turned itself off, which is scary. Why did that happen? Something's amiss. It's not clearly failing, but I can't toggle this. Huh. What could be doing that? Oh, is toggle mode not what I think it is? If true, the button is in toggle mode. Makes it flip between pressed and unpressed. Oh, no, it's not. How do you just enable the... Oh, man, come on. Oh, it's in base button. That's why. It's underscore toggled. So then how do you set this? How do you set this? Signals, methods, set pressed no signal called. Oh, where is it? Changes the button pressed without emitting toggled. Oh my God, set pressed no signal. Yeah, I never would have guessed that. Set pressed. Is this a function? Yes. Okay. Bugs per minute. All right, let's go try this now. Count to 2. All right, now here's the important thing. I'm going to speed up the game a little bit. But if we just let this battle finish, it should start a new one after another 2 seconds. Except for no, nothing starts that timer. So it won't know to do that. Yeah, no. All right, I have messed this up. Did that stop? No. There. Okay, so something should do it and nothing does. Where do we make the end screen? I guess we already know that the timer should start right here, right? Toggled auto repeat. Where's auto repeat? There it is. Instance slot number. Okay. So bool should auto repeat equals this. And then if this is true, start the timer. This is what's great about AI. Like, this is, I mean, it thinks I should stop it, but it's still good. It got the thing I wanted. And then everything should just work from there. All right, I think we finally got it. Should be fully repeating now. Faster than when I actually try a monkey type. I think if you're typing something that's coming out of your head, it's easier than typing something that's on your screen. We're going to speed this up. Oh, you know who's tried a trackball, but who's probably not in chat right now is Matt. But they're on Discord. If you want to reach out to them and ask them about that. Okay, so every 2 seconds, it should just start another battle. I feel like that's not 2 seconds. Are these Godot timers? They are. Okay, so then they're affected by the Godot time scale. Yeah, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Look at that. The battle's just going to go on forever. And it'll put items into your storeroom. So then when you eventually get enough money, which is going to take forever because your adventurer now can't leave battle. Actually, I guess you could. You could turn it off in between this. Nice, it works. Yeah. Then I could hire another adventurer, and then the other adventurer can go pick up the items. Upgrade my storeroom. I could actually just give myself some workers here. There. Okay, now you fight in the forest. Is this messing this up? No, it's not. And now auto battle here too. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Look at that. We're just going to get tons and tons of potions. Yeah, I like this. I want to try a trackball again at some point. Someone linked me a keyboard the other day, which was, imagine my keyboard, but it was connected at the middle by a trackball. It looked kind of like that. And I don't know if that would be good or usable or what. What if you select the rogue and start a new battle? Yeah, so I need to slow this down. So this is what you're saying, right? We get to the end of this battle, and then I start a new battle before we get there. And there's no error message, but it shouldn't actually do anything bad. Except for not tell you an error message, which got to fix that. Yeah, so I click start battles, and I've started on the right. Now the one on the left, it says one of these adventurers is already in battle. So it tried starting the battle, but couldn't. In that case, it's got to turn this off. Although I wonder what happens now if you win this. The timer isn't going, so it's not even going to try to do anything. Yeah. Reading the Discord messages now. Nice. All right, reset the timer when a battle completes. Automatically start if it was enabled. Make sure it's checked properly at the end of battle. Yep, that stuff's both working. And I think we could probably check in what I've done so far. What's the rest of this? Show cancel auto battle. Show progress of the timer. Only allow enabling at some point. When it hits 0, repeat the current battle. Yeah, so if auto repeat fails, we should probably turn it off automatically. We could just try every 2 seconds to start the battle again. Alternatively, we could just try every 2 seconds to start the battle again. And then make sure the auto battle time is set to 5 seconds. That's just a cleanup thing. All right, let's go check this in. Yeah, the Charybdis keyboard. I think that's one of them that looks like that. Oh, no, that's not the same kind. This has a trackball in it, but I feel like this one's a little more usable because it's kind of where your palm or thumb already would be. But the one I was thinking was like split keyboard with trackball in middle. It's closest to this, but it looked a little sleeker than this. Yeah, like you're already going to have to move your hand to use that, right? You can see the ceiling fan in the middle of this thing. You see that? No, the Ultimate Hacking Keyboard, I think, just has the nub, right? Well, I guess it's not really a nub, but yeah, it's something sort of like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter exactly. The point was just like, it's a split keyboard and it had a trackball on it. And I've never really used a trackball, so I don't know if it'd be good or not. The Naya keyboard. Modular keyboard. I guess the Happy Hacking Keyboard or Ultimate Hacking Keyboard that Caleb linked. I think that's the only modular one I've seen. This looks like kind of the same idea, but no, I hadn't seen it. What is that? Is that a trackpad? Huh. Well, I think split keyboards are going to become slightly more popular, although probably not mainstream anytime soon. Do we ever turn this off? I don't recall. Here it is, instance auto repeat. Yeah, we do. Currently interested in trying it. Yeah, I like this keyboard quite a lot. I've said this before, but the only improvements I'd probably make would be maybe wireless and maybe actually soldering the LEDs properly so that they work. I've got them working for only half the keyboard, and I really like this effect of typing and seeing the lights. And then, of course, when I go into different layers, it lights up differently. But yeah, I kind of broke it on the other half of the keyboard. And I don't know what other change. Oh yeah, I'd added an encoder. That's right. Does it still taste funky? I've been pouring it from the tap now instead of from the filtered water. I don't know. I don't think it could go bad that fast though. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, a Moonlander? I used a Moonlander for a little while. I never got used to it. It feels slightly awkward to me. But yeah, it seemed solidly built. I got nothing against the company. Yeah, I liked the design of it and everything. Just never got used to it. All right, this looks good. This looks good, although it's technically not part of the commit. This is fine, but this is saying make it read-only. If it's read-only, does that mean you can't modify the reference of the array or the contents of the array? I guess if there's no build problem, then it means it's just the reference of the array. I wonder why I didn't have you make the other one read-only. Yeah, you can modify the contents. Yeah. Why is this coming up with Monster Zone stuff? I don't even have that file open. How do you find C# after a few months of working with it? Find it the best. I'm heavily biased. I mean, I like it. I think it's good. I think it would be slightly easier outside of VS Code. Like these are the sorts of things that I would love for my editor to just fix for me. but it doesn't have a way of doing that. So instead I need to like move this stuff around, and I spend more time than I'd like to moving stuff around. And Visual Studio and Rider, they both apparently do that, but VS Code doesn't. Feels like man shouldn't have this much power. There used to be a PCB, I don't know what you call a manufacturer or printer or something like that, that if you had a small enough PCB, you could print it for free once a month. So people actually made keyboards where you'd print half of it in one month and then half in the other month, and you'd get the keyboard for free essentially. I mean, just the PCB. Start a timer. I mean, you don't need to write this. Nice, 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 nice. Add auto battling. This is still rough around the edges, but it's functional. Can't do it in VS Code, yeah. Full fat Visual Studio. Yeah, I'm guessing you're not coding on a Mac then, because that's about to go away. Not sat down and try to get used to it when I'm pairing with colleagues. Yeah. Wait a second. What is it a response to? How did I miss? Huh. Show a cancel auto battle. I want to do the progress one next. Now, how do we represent progress that your auto battle is a 5-second timer? And one thing that I think would be kind of interesting is filling up the background of this, which I think is actually not that hard to do. If we give a theme override and then make it a style, no, colors? What am I doing? I want to change the background, which I guess can't be a style box unless I put this inside of a panel container or something. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. All right, well, we can actually make it fill in by making a thicker and thicker border, although borders might cover the control. I might just want to throw this into a panel. Alternatively, we could just put a progress bar next to it. In fact, there might even be a progress bar. Yeah, there is. Control for visual representation of a percentage. I think we use this for life bars somewhere. Life bar instance. Battler might have it. There it is. Life bar. What are you? A texture progress bar? Yeah. Yeah, we could just use one of those. Okay, so let's add another child. Texture progress bar. Yep, texture progress bar is actually a fine name for it. Now let's get the minimum size. Should probably be. How big is this? This is like 100 something pixels. Yeah, I think minimally 100 pixels. That's pretty good. Now we need to set the textures. So an under texture technically doesn't need to exist, but would probably help. But the progress texture we definitely need. This can just be a color. Is color a thing? I've used gradient texture 1D in the past for this, but I think it's an obnoxious UI for that. Could have sworn, what does color rect do if not for? I don't know. Okay, well, fine, whatever. Let's use this. Let's have it fill up, I don't know, blue. Don't let me design UIs. That's what everyone should know. Yeah, there. That color. Great. Now let's set the value to 50, so it's obvious that it's somewhat filled. Huh, that's strange. It looks like the size is high enough, but it's actually... No, what's going on here? I want it to fill vertically. What is going on here? Huh. Yeah, huh. I don't see what's happening here that's wrong. Peek at the life bar. This has a size of 0, 0. How did it manage that? Oh no, here, the size is set there. Yeah, but this is not in a container. This one is in a container. So I shouldn't be able to set the size. Yeah, I can't. But it thinks the... Wait. Yeah, it thinks the height is 31. It's not a height of 31. Out of curiosity, does this look different when it's in the game? Touchpad beneath your spacebar. I mean, that's kind of like a laptop. Nope, it does not look any different in the game. What could I be doing wrong here? Oh, maybe this has alignment begin. Does that matter? No, that does not matter. No, I think this has to be something on the texture progress bar. I just don't know what. If it's not container sizing. Shrink begin, shrink center. Yeah, it's set to fill. This just doesn't actually fill it. What could I be doing wrong here? Let's set an under texture. I don't know why this would matter. No, it's still 1 pixel. Plan on creating one website. I'm not sure about that. You know, one of the things I feel like if I had infinite resources, I would say yes, for sure. But the problem is that we have 2 devs and limited time to like launch the game. This could kind of be argued, but let's just say limited time to launch the game. So how long will a website take, and what is it going to kind of take from? So yeah, it's only from that point of view, I guess. There's something you changed in the other life bar to get this to work. But what could it be? I mean, there's a size here. If I just increase the size, then it works. But the problem is I have this inside of a container. I guess let's just search for it online. Godot texture progress bar in container. Oh, does it have to be a 9 patch one? Oh, wow. Okay, my bad. There we go. All right, you should know how far away from finished this is, so it does actually make me think we should put a texture in here. And I don't know what color we should make this. Maybe like a slightly lighter color. Multiple product cross promotion. Yeah, I think, yeah. It certainly can't hurt in terms of having it there online. It can just hurt in terms of opportunity cost. And I guess technically there's a very, very minor cost in registering the domain, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, turns out I forgot about that. Darkstorm. We should probably write that over here somewhere. Texture, progress. No, we don't have anything written there. Texture progress bar is what it is. Do I not have a troubleshooting section? Oh, I don't. Overlapping problem? Well, whatever. Let's just make one. Troubleshooting. Texture progress bar. Or is it texture progress rect? Bar, yeah. Bar has a height of 1 px. This is probably because you need to check this box. Or 9 patch stretch. 9 patch stretch box. Yeah. If not for that, then your container sizing or containers may be wrong. Or just the size of the component is wrong if it's not in a container. Links to Steam or whatever platform, just to have unambiguous search results. Yeah, I guess so. But I think a lot of games, if you just search like Undertale, for example. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say it just goes right to Steam. But nope, Undertale.com exists. Yeah. This is why not only should I never touch UI, but you should just never listen to me. So on toggle auto repeat, we're going to make a private texture progress bar, auto repeat progress bar. Yeah. Then get that. What do I call it? Texture progress bar. And is it under repeat controls? It is. And it is a texture progress bar. Although actually, we don't really care what this is. It just needs to be. No, we do. We need to set its progress. You can say. If you search a Euro Truck Simulator, well, there are probably a lot of games where they have a site and a lot of games where they don't have a site. And I don't know if the popularity necessarily changes or is impacted by having a site. Who knows? That's probably chose one of the rare ones. Yeah, it turns out we find out that there are lots and lots of games like this. Okay, out of curiosity, some of the biggest ones, Stardew Valley, what shows up for that? A website. I'm guessing Terraria has a website. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen it. Yeah. What about Binding of Isaac? Nope, that's Steam. No, they also have, no, that's a fandom website. That doesn't count. Yeah. And what's one more game? Factorio. Yeah, they have a website. Yeah. I don't know. I could see it working both ways. Yeah. All right, so we want this to be either shown or hidden based on whether auto repeat is on. And it is the end battle screen that needs this. So visible is when this is toggled on. And then we need to know about the timer. And the timer is unfortunately set in the instance manager. I think this should be set in the end screen, and then it should just signal outward. Oh, I see how I did this. Okay, yeah, this is not smart. I don't think this is smart. I think we need to fix this. Should auto repeat just starts it immediately? No, init can know about this, right? What about this? Start. This would be a timeout thing. Okay, we'd call out. Stop. Would have to stop the timer. Sure. We could make a timer even if we're not going to use it. Okay. Factorial blog posts are some of the best out there. Man, you know, I'm a little torn. I know I've said this a lot, but not anytime soon or not recently. 2024 was year of not focusing on money. And I've made very little money as a result of that. But at some point, I guess 3 months ago, maybe, I said, you know what, let's make a game. And we made Idle Ascendants, and that formed essentially like V 0.01 of Skeleseller. And then we've been working on Skeleseller ever since. But Skeleseller is supposed to make money. It's not supposed to make enough to be like, let's just, stop making money for the rest of our lives after this. And really the economics of that are very difficult anyway, because let's say you sold this at $10, even if you sell 100,000 copies, you've made $1 million, of which Steam immediately takes 300,000. So you're left with 700K minus taxes, minus whatever else. And that's phenomenal success, right? So even in some of the best cases, it's like, this isn't like go do nothing the rest of your life kind of money. And there are other factors you need to pay for out of this anyway. So, yeah, 2024 is the year of not focusing on money. But if, let's say I was like, I'm also not focusing on it in 2025, I would just probably spend another maybe at least 3 months working on Skeleseller. Just saying like, let's make it better and better and better and get kind of every little piece of the puzzle there. Yeah. Because you outline features for the simple brochure website that you'd like, and then maybe potentially, hopefully, chat will jump and build it. I'd be uncomfortable with someone just making it for me, because it's enough work where I'd want somebody to be compensated for it. It's different when someone's like, hey, you need an icon or something, I'll go mock one up really fast. Like, yeah, sure, I don't mind accepting that. But yeah, I don't think that'd be the easiest thing to do. Also, I think it's going to change a bit over time. I imagine any game website is probably going to have things like a trailer, which we just don't have right now, a whole bunch of pictures, and then links to the storefronts. This, I guess, would be easy enough to do. But yeah, these don't exist yet. And then probably some info about the game. We could probably fill in the info. Yeah, for now, I'll stick to the storefronts, and then we'll probably reevaluate when we get closer to launch. Okay, so we got to move the timer into the end battle screen. By the way, I'm going to just probably skip breaks as long as I have motivation, because some in real life scheduling stuff that I want to work around, and I want to get this done this afternoon. I mean, we're making good progress really all of today, so I'm pretty excited. Let's go move the timer from instances manager over to here. So we're going to put an auto repeat timer, private timer, auto repeat timer. We're going to delete all of the ones from here, I guess. Auto repeat timers. Yep. So delete all of this. Add it in this thing's ready. Auto repeat timer. Actually, if we name this, if we do this and then just rename it here, then we get all the variables named correctly afterward. Yeah. This is going to just be called, yeah, whatever, timer. Doesn't even, actually, you know what? Fine, give it the name, auto repeat timer. That's fine. So one shot, add child. Auto repeat timers equals that. We don't need that. Slot number, we don't need. Why is that even there? Oh, because we were looping? Yeah, we're not looping anymore. And then on timeout, we're going to say on timeout. We don't need a slot number here. Cool. This function doesn't exist. Let's go add it. Put this at the bottom. And then just call on auto repeat timer timeout. Dot invoke. Now, I'm pretty sure you can't do this, so we need to rename one of these things. So this should, what should this be called? What should this be called? On auto repeat. Yeah, probably just on auto repeat. Okay, now we make an action. This should pass in, yeah, probably the instance. Then the instances manager can listen to that. So where do we make a new instance and create instance? Oh, it's the end battle screen though. End battle screen. Yep. On auto repeat. I guess on auto repeat is the exact same thing as on repeat. So fine, let's paste that in here. We might change that eventually. Okay, so this starts a timer. We want to do that in the toggled thing now. Toggle auto repeat. Why do we even need this now? Do we need this? Yes, we need to know that it's on. Although actually, yes, we do. Yeah, we need to know it's on. I was going to say, why do we need this? And the reason why is because you might trigger auto repeat and then click the start button manually. And in that case, we want to remember that it was on and not just have auto repeat work. Yeah. Topic has me looking up brochure game websites. And you always add a handler suffix. I think you have, no, maybe you don't have to do that. I was gonna say maybe delegates require that. Something does. I don't remember what though. Maybe it's Godot signals? Because they need to do something with signal name. Anyway, these things don't need to be done here. So we're gonna copy this out of here. Delete this one. Put that in here. So if toggled on, then auto repeat timer dot start. The delay, I guess, sure, we'll put it into here. It doesn't really make a difference where it is. It's a constant. Okay, and then if not, then just stop it. Good. That's the second super weird message you've typed. I am going to purge this message. Checked out Stardew Valley's website and it looks wonderful. However, it feels laggy. Why is that so? Let's find out. Stardew Valley. Nope, nope, nope. That's the wiki. Where'd the site go? There. No, wait. Where did the site go? There it is. No, I think it feels fine to me. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's good. I don't notice any lag. Lots of animation. I don't have any animation. Unless you just mean the parallax effect when you scroll. But that's literally it. In fact, it looks weird to see this logo and not see it be animated because of the game. But yeah, this does look really nice. And also, it doesn't look like this took that long to make. The parallax effect would by far be the hardest part, I'd say. But everything else is just kind of basic web controls. Yeah. Oh, were the clouds animated? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so have we still got an error in here? We do on this line. Should auto repeat call start. But now this can do this automatically. So we actually don't need to pass this in anymore. No, wait, yes we do. What am I talking about? Of course we do. Yeah, so I want to go into init and call that auto repeat timer dot start if auto repeat. There we go. Oh, Dark Reader breaks it? Oh. Oh, wow, yeah. But yeah, still not laggy. Huh. Maybe they're super animated. Clouds are dynamically changing. Huh, neat. Yeah, I just never think of even having Dark Reader on. In my mind, this is just how the web looks. And I just always forget it. And it's only when I go to sites like, hang on, I can't do this in a regular browser window. Bing.com/maps. Bing Maps looks horrible in Dark Reader. I don't even know how I can show you this without it leaking personal information. So I can't show you. Yeah. Hey, Skyward. Okay, I think we've fixed everything. Let's go try that out. We haven't actually done the thing I wanted to do, which is set the progress, but there should be a static progress bar now. Oh, let's try it. Yep, there it is, static progress bar. Except for it should have been hidden by default. I guess we don't do that. Where should it be? The progress bar here. If auto repeat, then set this to visible. I guess just set its visibility regardless. All right, now we got to set the progress. Progress is going to be based on the timer. And I think the only way to do this is with a process function. Nope, this shouldn't be here. Wait. No, that should be there. I thought that said something else. All right, public override process. Value equals... Yeah, that's probably right. Sure, let's try that out. So I toggle this. We see a progress bar not fill up because there's probably integer division here. Double divided by double. No, what? How's that? Oh, because you need to multiply it by the max value. Times auto repeat timer dot max value. Actually, technically, you also need to add the minimum value, right? Why is there no max value? What's this called? Max value. Oh my God. Of course. Typed the wrong thing. Max value, and then technically plus the minimum value. Stupid way of having to write all this, but it's fine. There might be a set progress percent. I'll look for that in a sec. Well, let's try that out. Okay, it's going backwards. What? Time left. It's time elapsed. You can't apparently do that. Well, we can always figure it out by just subtracting from this. It does work, and actually no one would know that it was backwards. They might just think, oh, that's how that works. But it looks kind of silly. Probably copy paste the botland website, add a transparent ping with a red pen crossing on botland. Yep, definitely could. No one would find that fishy. So can you set a percent or a value by percent or any of that stuff that might be helpful? Where is the timer documentation? No, it's not timer. What am I talking about? Texture, progress, whatever. Texture, progress, bar. There. So I know there's value, which apparently comes from range. Value. Can we set the ratio? No, not that. Oh, wait. That did have a set, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Oh, cool. We can just say ratio then. Wow, this actually would be great to have known about. So what we could have done is just delete those things and then do this minus the other things. And order of operations means we don't need parentheses. Flip horizontally. Yeah, that would be the quick way of doing things. I'll need to see if our life bars could use ratio as well. Let's try that out. That does not work. What? Value map between 0 and 1. These are doubles. Auto repeat delay is 2 minus the time left divided by auto repeat delay. Yeah, what? Oh, wait. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. Divided by auto repeat delay. Yeah. We're wrong order operations. I guess we could have just said, no, never mind. I'm not gonna keep thinking about this. Does it work? Yes, it works. Okay, nice. Okay, yeah, pretty good. Could make that look a little bit better, but I think it'll be hopefully pretty obvious what that's doing. So let's start up another battle. Oh, something crashed. What crashed? That wasn't even a stack trace that I have, is it? Get alignment vertical. Well, that sucks. Huh. I'm not sure what happened there. All right, so we're going to start a battle with that one and then start a battle here and start a battle over here. Auto battle. Just want to see if this timer thing works when it repeats the battle. I don't know. I think that started at the halfway point. Yeah, what is it doing? What? This. Yeah, this. This is probably set to 1. This needs to be auto repeat delay. So wait, do we start a timer in 2 different ways? We do. Oh, that's that. Yeah, thanks, Quark. Darkstorm worked on it. And I do think it looks great. And I think it makes it look just that much more like a game and not like a prototype. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this now. I'm not even going to test that change. I'm sure it's fine. That's how confident I am. Show progress and the timer. Yep, cool. So let's go check that in. All right, fine. I will test it. I'm not happy about this. Okay. Count to 2. We don't have another party member. All right, now we just wait. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so I don't know if 5 seconds is going to be too fast. I want you to be able, like, this is 2 seconds right now. I want you to be able to read the items you got, just kind of generally take in what's happening. And also the point of this feature is not to have like super fast, lightning fast battles. It's have a way of you repeating it. So yeah, you don't need to have a minute pass before you're like, oh, they weren't doing battle. I need to start that up again. So actually, maybe we do want to set this like 10 seconds. Yeah. Okay. Go check that in. This is going great. I think people are going to like this. I think being in launch mode at some point is really good for you figuring out what will people want the most. What are the most important changes? And I think that's why game jams are really good, because you're always in that mode. But it's for a short amount of time. I think if you were always in that mode for like a straight year, you'd be just pulling your hair out. It's a little stressful to be in this mode. Okay, cool. Yeah, looks good. So show auto repeat timer progress. I had to move the timer into end battle screen, but it makes more sense there anyway. Yeah. Had a detailed historical log of items received during battles. Actually, something like that could be kind of cool. I like when games expose interesting stats to you, but then I think you could have too much. So a historical log of all the items you received, you probably wouldn't look through, but it would be nice to see, oh, here's how many potions you got by the end of the game, and it's like, 4,070 or something. 5 seconds should be fine. We could make it player configurable. I'm not positive if we should, but I definitely, less than 5 seconds I think would be bad. And I don't know what is the right amount of time. So yeah, maybe somewhere between 5 and 10. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah. I'll just write 5 to 10. Okay, next, cancel auto battle over the battle. So where are we gonna put this? I want to not cover the battle if possible. Oh, we need to cover something. We could just take a picture of this. We could slightly expand the size of a battle. Comment on one of the issues. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do plan on taking a look at that at some point. Okay, so if we put it right at the bottom, put it like cancel auto battle. Yeah. So if we put a button right there, then it wouldn't really cover anything important, and it would be kind of faded out, I guess, because you'll also have the 5 to 10 seconds at the end of the battle. However, I kind of wonder if there should just be an end battle button that just forces you to lose the battle. Because sometimes battles take too long, you're accidentally clicking instance you didn't mean to click. Major change to implement the log. I don't think it'd be hard to implement. I just don't think people would really use it. All right, so now we need a cancel auto battle button. Where do we put this? I guess instance. Turn one of these things on. Yeah, so add button. Cancel auto battle. That is very bizarre. I guess this respects the Z index. And I guess this is why we want this to be inside of a canvas layer. Yeah, and then maybe make it a little smaller. What about fleeing a battle? I mean, fleeing, losing, they're kind of the same thing in this case. But yeah, I think we should add a button like that. And I think it should be this same button. Or like only one of them should show up probably. Aren't logs essential for achievements like kill 1,000 enemies? Well, it depends on how you implement it, right? If there was, okay, so the way that Unknown said originally, what I was kind of picturing is that you'd have some log window somewhere which would show something like sword, potion, sword, right? It'd be literally every item you earned in the order you earned them in. But the way that you need it for an achievement is just like sword : 4, potion : 2. And now you're taking up very little memory and you don't need to know the order. Oh, if you're just talking about the stats themselves, yes, that's something that we plan on doing. But yeah, I thought you meant like an actual history of the items you got. So toward the end of the game, you'd see much more powerful items in there. Yeah, I misunderstood. Okay, so I think we need to make this a tiny bit smaller. What is the font size by default here? It's probably based on the theme. I guess let's just click this button until it's a size that looks reasonably good. Yeah, maybe something like that. Like 1 pixel smaller, actually. Yeah. All right, there. I think that's good. Cancel auto battle button. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay. Okay. So now I want to copy the path to this. Go into instance and modify this. Private button. What's this called? Cancel auto battle button. Cool. Get that from here. Cancel. All right, this should only be set if the instance had auto battling enabled. And you could only have set it before the battle. You can't enable it mid-battle. Other crashes Mac specific? They might be. I think a lot of crashes are happening on Mac. So when you click this, we're going to have it just print. Click the button for right now. And then I want to make sure this shows correctly. And that can only be known in a init. So I need something like bool is auto repeat on. And if it is on, then we set that to visible. Otherwise, actually, let's just do this. There. Yeah. Now we need to fix this because there's going to be a build error. Is auto repeat on. And is auto repeat on is not something we've used prior to this. But it's very easy to get. And there it is. Yeah, easy. Out of curiosity, why do we have slot here? This shouldn't be a thing. Oh, I guess we can't use instance slot because it's not a potential question mark that we have here. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now let's make it function. So when you click the button, what should happen? It needs to call into the instances manager. So there's got to be like a disabled auto repeat. What am I doing? Here. Disabled auto on, disable auto repeat. Repert. And should we pass in the instance? I guess what is the instances manager going to do? We make an instance here. We do this. We get a battle result. We also have the instance. Yeah, might as well just have. You know what? I'm going to go change this too, even though it's not part of this commit. Just because it's. No, I'm not going to do it. Fine. I'm going to write it down. Let's find out on battle ended. Here it is. Yeah, I'll just write this in cleanup. Instance battle ended should just pass the instance through the action. That way instances manager doesn't need a lambda. Use the slot to create a new instance in the next available one. Yeah. Yeah, and that's still necessary. Use any design practices? I don't think so. Nothing different from just regular development. Yeah. Like I'm not doing test-driven design or anything. Also, I got to say, I feel like the progress we've made in the amount of dev time has been very good. Like if you took a professional game dev who's been doing this for, I don't know, 20 years and you said, hey, go make this game. I don't know if they would necessarily make it faster. They might make it better or look better or something like that, but would they have gotten to this point as quickly? And I don't think that's the only measure of using some different kind of design. I think code maintainability plays a role. and anyone could code something for an hour, but then coding something for 10,000 hours is much harder because you got to work with code you wrote 9,900 hours ago. So, who knows? But I think it's been pretty efficient, and I do plan on cleaning a lot of stuff up. I've been incurring a lot of tech debt recently. Okay, so this is what we're going to pass in over here. This is just going to do this dot invoke this. Yep. And then on the other side, we are going to listen for that. Instance plus equal. Why is that not showing up? There it is. All right, instance auto repeat slot number equals false. And then we want to hide the button. That's important. Oh, nice. That got it. Okay, cool. Let's try it out. So you should be able to cancel this property now. So we're going to start. We're going to win the battle. We're going to do auto battle. It's going to fill up this meter. Then we have, that's in the wrong spot, but we can click cancel on it. It disappears. And then when we win the battle, it's turned off. But if we didn't turn that off and we win the battle, then it just auto repeats. Yeah. V2 payoff regrets. Yeah, I kind of wonder, you're delivered to customers in V3. And I guess if you're contracting for someone, that makes sense. But if you're doing a product like this, I feel like deliver to customer should probably even be before you write tests. But it depends on what you consider delivering to the customer. Because in this case, it's like this game may get launched in whatever state it's in and do terribly. It might be in the best possible state and just people don't like it, or I did a bad job marketing it. And then it doesn't matter how many tests you had written. Like, the game is garbage. Do adventurers get saved with the items they carry? I noticed they still carry items after battle. What happens if you save? And yeah, they do get saved with the items they're carrying. In fact, I think I can show you this. Let's turn off auto battling. Where's my rogue? There it is. Okay, so let's go give them a potion. Bloop. And now save, and now load. And they should have loaded in with a potion. One of those is the rogue. Unfortunately, the loading spot is all the same for everybody. So yeah, the rogue had an item there. Yeah. Did I code the thing I wanted to code? No. The button's in the wrong spot. Why is it in the wrong spot, though? Oh, actually, something else I didn't try here is if I do auto battle repeat and then win and repeat. Yeah, okay, good. So you can still manually repeat the battle. So yeah, why is that button in the middle? I think that that's probably due to some alignment of the instance itself. No, how's that possible? This is inside a canvas layer. What? Yeah, what? I don't know how this could move. It's Oh, we need to hide that when the battle ends. Because you can cancel it. Oh, where do we do that? Ended. Debug kill. I need this to converge on one spot. Debug kill all converges on one spot, but then there's like some debug win instance. What does this do? Battle ended. Yes, in here. If the battle is totally done, then the cancel auto button should be invisible. But I still don't know what's putting it in the middle of the screen. I guess in order for us to figure that out, we need to launch through Godot and inspect the scene. But then battles need to take forever. So what we need to do is we need to set the dodge chance to be 1,000,000 again. Yeah, get the dodge chance, just return 1. There, now battles can't end. Code it all by myself? No, Dark Storm is also helping. Okay, so I'm gonna start a battle. It's gonna last forever because every attack is gonna get dodged. That's what happens when you set it to 100%. And then what I want to do is win the battle and then click this. And now we can figure out why that button is there. So let's go into the, what? Oh, darn it. I launched through VS Code. Can't inspect the scene tree if you don't launch through Godot. Let's try that again. There. Okay, why are you hovering there? Where are you? Here, 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 here. Okay, what is wrong about this thing? Oh, maybe the anchors or something? Does the canvas layer have the right size? What's the canvas layer size? No, canvas layers don't have a concept of size. But buttons do, right? Yeah. Size is 123 by 27. Okay. Position is 115. What if I set that to 0? 0's up here. 115. Is that what the position set to in the editor? Transform is... No, it's 27. What? That doesn't even make sense. No, position is 115. Yeah, it is 115. Okay, so then there's a problem with the scaling, maybe? How does this make sense? Yeah, it's either a problem with scaling or it's a problem with the position of the canvas layer. Is that the project setting thing? It might be. How do we do that? If we set a scale to 2 and then set the position of this to 115. Yeah, okay, that puts it in the space it was supposed to be in. So how do we do something about that? I am not sure. I mean, clearly we could just change the scale on the canvas layer, but why don't I have to do that in the editor? Hey, Pressel. Why don't I have to do that? Is it because of how this thing gets put into the town? Is it doubled in here? Stretch. No. I don't think so. Wait. 288 pixels. 288 divided by 16 is 18. How large is the height of an instance? I need to see the tile map of this thing. Where? Oh, it's the forest. There we go. Yeah. So here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. No, so that is half the size. So something is doubling this. Camera's at zoom 2 and does not affect canvas layer. But if the camera doesn't affect the canvas layer, why am I seeing this show up at the normal size? No, I think what's doing this is this property here, stretch. I think we just turn this off. It's going to be half the size it was. No. I don't know. I don't know what's doing that. 2D size override affects stretch as well. Okay, if we turn this one off. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's doing that. But I guess it's a canvas layer inside of a viewport. Canvas items. I don't think it's a camera thing. I mean, if I just set this to 1, 1, what happens? Oh, maybe it is a camera thing. Yeah, it's a camera thing. So wait, that means that when the camera is zoomed in, that this is actually at the right position. It's not that they're zoomed in that's a problem. It's that the button is floating in the middle. Oh, I see. Because when it's at 1, 1, yeah, we are positioning this correctly. All right, how do we fix that? And why? No, yeah, I see. It shows up here correctly, and then we zoom in on the instance, and so this gets hovered in the middle of it. So if we wanted, we could just drag this down to the bottom, and technically everything would just look fine. But that's probably not what we should do. The other thing we could do here is, instead of putting the cancel auto battle button here, we could put it into here, I think. Can you anchor it at the bottom left? I think I could, but I don't think that's going to have an impact. Yeah, if I say bottom left, first of all, I'll put a weight at the bottom of the screen. But I think the problem is going to be anytime I position it here, it doesn't know about the camera. Because this button is technically still in the spot that I put it in. Yeah. So now it's... Wait. No, what? The button's gone. I don't know where it is. Maybe this is having an impact and I just don't understand. Why does the other button interface show up correctly? Are they different in different canvas scenes? Yeah, the end battle scene is entirely in its own scene. So this will always look correct relative to itself because it is one unit. Whereas the instance is, there's a camera in another scene which is changing the world, and then no camera changes the button here. Why is it small compared to the editor? Because I'm zoomed in on the editor. This is the actual size, which is how much it should be showing on the screen. Like if I put this next to this, they should be the same size. Yeah, I think they are. Position it by code. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I feel like that's hacky. Because if you look at this scene in the editor, you're going to think, oh, I want this to be in the middle. And you'll put it here. And then you'll realize, like, oh, wait a second, it's not actually in the middle. Like, I'd like to just place it where it's going to show up. And I'm not sure how you would do this. I guess the problem is really that we're moving the instance. But then why do we have a camera change the size of the instance? What if we just scaled up the instance? Like if I just made this node be 2 by 2 or 2 scale, then there we go. Now we could put this here. And then we could change the scale of that in code if we want. This is probably really dumb. Also, now that the instance is actually going to show up at a 4x scale because the camera is going to further apply a 2x zoom. Yeah. But yeah, I think what we do is we just change the script on instance then to cut this back down to 1 by 1. There might be a way to override the default behavior of canvas layers so that they're affected by the camera. I don't know if I want to do that. Follow viewport enabled. Scale 2. What does this do? If enabled, it'll use the viewport's transform, so it will move when camera moves instead of being anchored in a fixed position. I don't think I even want that to be the case, though. What would that look like? Probably it would be messed up. I think that might be it. Then I would need to set this thing back to 1 and put this over here. Whoa, what am I dragging? What is going on there? Yeah, that must be the camera thing taking effect. Wow, that's super weird. So it knows that I don't know what's going on. Let's just see what that looks like. Oh wait, it didn't show up because I don't have the button there unless I do this. No, it's just gone. I think I need to get it so that this is there. And I was going to take up some like gigantic amount of the bottom space. I probably needed to set it to like half the scale instead. Yeah, it's huge. But it's also in the wrong spot. Like the battle button is barely showing. I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to do this. Is it worth still digging around here and trying to figure this out? What did I even change? I must have changed this. Follow viewport, yeah. We just have to scale back to 1 and put this here. Yeah, it's worth a shot. I'll try this one out, and then I think I'm just going to do something and move forward with this. Oh, wait, that works. Yeah, but now it's in world space, which is not what I want. Okay, well, the way we could get this to work, we could set the instance size to 2 inside of here. And then just set it back to 1 in code. That presumes that this camera is always going to be at zoom 2. So if we ever zoomed in at 3x, then we need to go change this scene, which is weird. We could position this through code. This is going to be half size relative to everything else, though. What if you move the canvas layer outside? That would also probably work. But then we need the button to live inside of this thing, which kind of represents an instance, I guess. Let's put a button here and see what happens. Testeroni. We're gonna just put this. It's in a what? Sub viewport container. So we can't position this. Probably inside the viewport. I guess so. Now where are you? I don't even know where that went. Where is this thing? Is it there? Does this have no size? Size is 81 by 31. Is it there and it's in the wrong order? I don't see this at all. It shouldn't matter if it's before or after the camera. Huh. I don't know where the button went. But I think this whole scene is a little bit screwy. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would do here. Well, there's one other thing I could try at least. I guess I could put this underneath a control. And that should break it out of whatever container sizing it's in, and then put this thing back over here. It crashed the editor. I did press F and it centered it on the wrong spot, or there was no button or something. Yeah, maybe it was getting clipped. So that just broke everything. So we're gonna add a new control here, put the button under there, and then we can move it. So I'll try to put this in the left about halfway down. Does that at least look like it's in the right spot when I launch this? Yes. Shouldn't that have been there from the beginning? Yeah, so do we do that? Yeah, do we do that? Because then what does that mean? That means that the instances manager needs to listen to the cancel auto repeat thing and manage the state of it. I just don't think it's worth it to make that change. Also, you can't even see the instance in here. So it's not like we have relative positioning here. All right, I'm going to delete this. And I think if we ever want to repeat that, we can. But for now, in the instance, let's just set the scale of this to 2. Yeah, and that way we can position this properly. Probably increase the font size on this too while we're at it. Now that I know everything was doubled. Put that there. Good, and then inside of instance, we just set the scale back to 1. Scale equals vector to 1. And I just need to write a comment for why I did that. But at least now the button should be in the right spot. I don't see it at all. It's gone. Where'd you go, button? What happened? It just disappeared. Is it because I have this set to... Yeah, I have it set to follow the viewport still. That's why. All right, now one man has won. Look at that. It's there. Yeah, it's exactly where I want it to be. So we can cancel auto battle. Nice. Now we write a comment for this. This is because I can't write this in a way that'll let me write a proper comment. Yeah. I'll just write this here. Note, we set the scale to 1,1 at the beginning to make it easy to position the, what is it? Cancel auto battle button in the editor. Yeah, so the instance is affected by the camera's zoom, which is zoom equals 2. But the canvas layer isn't. So the relative position of the button will change at runtime. So to make it easy, we set the instances scale to 2 inside the editor and then change it here. Being set to 1,1. This is for positioning the, yeah, cool. Okay. Oh. All right, well, that's that. Show a cancel auto battle button. When clicked, it should disappear. There, that's done. I mean, the functionality of that was easy. It was positioning a button. All right, we don't want to remove that. So we added a canvas layer. That's fine. This probably shouldn't have been changed. Yeah. In fact, let's go reopen the editor and click that button. All right, we have the button itself. Set it to invisible. Set it to visible when it's on. Disable it when you end the battle. That way you can still see behind it. Yeah, cool. Allow for canceling auto repeat mid battle. All right, now what do we do? Dollar sign is a currency to some gold coins. I think the customers will get used to it after some time. But yeah, I should probably add that as a task for way later. Add task for later. Probably change that everywhere in the game to G for gold. Or maybe use a gold symbol. Give me those Skele coins. I was thinking about it for a second. The story of the game is that, you die, you start a town. If you had your own currency, that would imply that there are people walking around in the world with Skele coins, even though you're just starting a town. So it might be interesting if your town got so popular halfway through the game that instead of giving you gold coins, they were giving you Skele coins all of a sudden. But then I guess you're the controller of that currency and you could just print more if you wanted to. All right, auto repeat failed is probably turn it off automatically. So how do we know that it failed? I think the worms are their money. Or is it the bones of their money? I don't even remember the quote. I think you should leave. All right, if a battle fails, I think that's why we call this request. And what does this do? Calls create instance. And what does this do? This can know that it fails, right? It must be able to know. Oh, no, here it is. One of the adventurers is in battle. Okay, so if the adventurer is in battle, then we should probably set auto battle off on the instance, which I guess we could just make a function here. Skele transactions. You just pay with micro bones. No tibias here. Teeth. Oh, man. Oh, what would it mean if customers are coming in giving you bags of teeth to pay for things? Where do they get those teeth from? They don't have to be humans. Is there some creature in the world that just has like 100 teeth? Turn off auto battle, for instance. We're only doing this for the slot number, so we might as well just pass in the slot number. And then we just do that. Except for it's not that simple, right? We need to tell the instance. We need to tell the end battle screen about it. We don't have a way of doing that. Oh, wait, yes, we do. Oh, wow. We do. Instance. We can get the slot number from here. If I could type correctly. Slot number. And then instance.end battle screen dot. There is no way to turn this off from here. We need another function, I guess. Yeah, I guess public void turn off. What I call it over here? Auto battle. Pressed equals false? It's not that. We need to, what is it? Set press no signal. And then something else, right? Stop the timer. I think that's it. Oh, and then hide the progress bar. Yeah, that. Now we just call that from here. Turn off auto battle. I guess we would check to see if it's null. I guess the instance should just do this. No, I'll just do it this way. Shark teeth. Your smile is your wallet. Imagine that. You couldn't smile at people or they know how wealthy you are. Just punch you. Take your wealth. All right, so what we need to do is we need to start a battle with the rogue before that can happen, and then this is going to turn this off. It did not, which means that something broke. Or I forgot a line of code. Turn off auto battle. Set auto repeat to false. Yeah. Set press no signal to false. Stop and hide. Did it hide that? No, it didn't do any of that. Well, then I think what this means is that this is null. So we win all battles, repeat this, but then repeat that battle. What? Did I just forget to call the function? Oh my god. Okay, whoops. Yeah. Turn off auto battle for instance. There we go. All right, I'm pretty sure this will work. So win this battle, then turn on auto battle, but start this one first. It breaks in here, and let's just assume that it works. Did it work? Yes, it turned off auto battle. Okay, so is it going to be clear enough to you that that's why that happened? Probably not. And the only thing you really have to go off of is a tiny error message. Oh, wait. Oh, you can see it right here. Yeah, one of these adventurers is in battle. But this shows in a random part of the screen it's got a very colorful background. I mean, maybe in that case, we could just have this show up in red and be completely filled up. Yeah, we really need a notification UI. Yeah, I agree. All right, well, let's not worry about that for right now. So this is done. Yeah, proper background. Thanks to Darkstorm. All right, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That was it. Yeah. Turn off auto battle when party is busy. Okay, next. When the timer hits 0, repeat. So this is what we just did. Wait, what did I delete then? Oh, I had the same thing written twice. Okay, next is to set the timer correctly. This is going to be a doozy of a change. I don't know if I have the fortitude to handle this. Oh, that's tough. Tough. All right, let's see if 7 feels good. Yeah, I just want to make sure we didn't leave this at 2, because 2 is definitely too short. So the point is it's got to be long enough. Oh, wait. Oh, darn it. I checked in the dodge chance being set to 100%. I didn't mean to do that. Where's the dodge chance? I should just search for dodge chance. There. Which instance has the most items? I think the final one can drop like 18 or something. Oh, I guess you could just look at these. Num items 17. Yeah, the last one has the most. All right, so we're gonna just let this battle play out. No, we're not. That takes too long. Okay, now we're gonna click auto battle, and it'll be 7 seconds. So I'm gonna just hit repeat, and we're gonna look at this, and we're gonna see if we didn't know that this battle finished, is it enough time to be able to see what items are there? So I'm looking around the town, not paying attention to that battle. Battle's about to finish, but I'm not aware of it. We're still just looking around, and now we're like, oh, the battle finished. Let's go see. I got some chance to hover over the items. Time is rapidly running out, and it auto repeats. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of inclined to want to set it to like 10 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, I think I want to set it to 10. I have not checked out Delicious in Dungeon yet. My in-laws have been visiting, so my wife and I have been busier than normal, and I want to have some time to spend that we can actually like watch more of it. So instead, what we've been doing is listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks That way we can do other things while we're listening. But it's still on my list. I do plan on watching it. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I think at 10 seconds you would kind of want a label. But it could just be a countdown right in the center there. Okay. Then let's go do that really fast. So texture progress bar. How would we do this? I want a label on top of this. I think the only way to do that is to just make a label and position it via code. Yeah, I don't think we could do this any other way. Yeah, I think we have to do it that way. Which means I guess we put a control in here and then underneath that we put a label. Can I add a label as a child of it? Actually, yeah, maybe I could. Let's try that out. 5. Yeah, I guess that could work. I could position this correctly. What happens when this says 10? Yeah. So I want it to look like that. And then let's delete this. And let's set the texture to linear. And this is going to be time, remaining time label. Okay. Then the end battle screen needs to manage that. Label, remaining time label. That comes from the same place as this. It's actually underneath the auto repeat progress bar, and it's a label. So anytime we update the timer, we need to also set the remaining time labels text. Time left is 0.0. That's going to show us a floating point number. Yeah, I guess so. I think it's fine. Wait, the .0 means it'll always show always show a decimal place. I think I want that to be the case. That way it doesn't go from 9.1 to 9 and then get rid of the decimal spot. I do have notes on that, but I recalled them in my head before I talked about that. I think the pound sign is what makes it so that it only shows them if it has to show them. But it's right here. We'll render 1 as 1, yeah. Okay, let's try that out. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I want to add a flee button. Add a flee button to the battle that only shows if you don't have auto battling on. Okay. But is just a number clear enough? I mean, you would have had to click auto battle, and then you see this thing fill up, and then when it does fill up, you see the battle start. I feel like it's pretty obvious what's happening, but who knows? I guess that's where feedback will come in, and if people are like, oh, that's confusing. Now, if they say it looks ugly, I can totally agree. This is just a functional UI right now. It is not a good-looking UI. Like I said, I think it'll be clear enough. And if 10 seconds is too long, you can always just click repeat battle. So nothing stops you from just clicking that sooner. Actually, I guess technically too, this gives your adventurer 10 seconds in town. So you win, and then your adventurer has 10 seconds to go do something. That might also be pretty important. I didn't think about that. Maybe that is why you'd want to customize this. Because it just picked up an item and now it's going to disappear. And it won't put that item down until it's only got 10 seconds to make it to its destination now. Is it going to make it? It's just barely going to make it. Yeah, 3 seconds left. Where can I learn more about the battle mechanics? Well, what do you want to know? Because there's nowhere in game you could learn about them right now. Well, there's nowhere you could play the game, I guess. Unless you already had it downloaded. But in general, the way that things work is this. each character has a passive ability and then 2 active abilities. The active ability will have cooldowns. Every so often, so in this case 0.4 seconds, Quick Strike will be used automatically. And every 5 seconds, Cloak of Shadows will be used automatically. And they follow the rules that are kind of listed out here. So in this case, for example, this always targets the enemy with the lowest health. If it doesn't say that, then it targets a random enemy. And then when you put points into these, it can modify it, of course. So 25% chance to do 4 times the regular damage. Skill points do not affect ongoing battles. They only affect future battles. So if I were to remove points from crit, it won't change the current battles that are there. Otherwise, you can get into some weird states where you can get like every possible buff. Do they die? They can die, but they don't die permanently. But I think we probably should add some kind of death penalty. In fact, I wonder if we should do that for checkpoint number 2. Although we don't have a state for that right now. Yeah, we need to have some sort of like hospital. I think it'd be kind of tedious for the player, but I'll at least write it as an idea. Consider whether adventurers, dead adventurers need to heal after a battle. This would involve a lot of work since we auto-revive adventurers anyway. And we would need an is busy or dead state or function. Are the enemies always the same? When does the battle end? Is there dying? Yeah, so the enemies are always the same in each instance right now. So for example, you'll always fight 1 bat in this instance. The battle ends when you've beaten every room of a battle. So if I turn off auto battle and then we grant most things, click edit location. So for example, the dungeon, if we just go there, this is room number 1. And when we beat this, the camera will automatically scroll to room number 2. And then when you beat this, you will just have 1. Yeah. And yes, your adventurers can die. I think they get auto-revived in between stages. I don't know. And actually, I'm not really sure. Do we need them to auto-revive anymore? I think I originally did that because you were supposed to get experience. Or maybe it would... I don't know. I don't remember exactly why. So whatever is going on is fine with me. If they die, they start their own town. Yeah, every time your adventurers die, you fork off a game of Skeleseller and you play a whole new game. Yeah. I wonder, okay, what if, here's a wild idea. Every time an adventurer dies, you lose some amount of money based on the level of your adventurers. I think this is probably bad. This is really, really cool though, now that we've got this auto battle thing. I think this probably will encourage some people to just leave this here and then come back and have ludicrous amounts of money. It's also going to really encourage you to get cloning because that gives you a couple of extra workers. Yeah, so now I could start another battle in the forest and then another battle, well, probably also in the forest. And now we'll get lots of items. In fact, let me speed this up. Yeah, so they've got 10 seconds between battles to go put the items down. I wonder if this will actually fill... Oh, I don't have auto battle on. Wait, why did... Oh, I didn't have auto battle on there either. The cleric just sucks. Okay, let's put some points into some of these things. There and there. There. I'm going to give them some actual damage. Good. All right, now let's see how much the shop fills up. Now they're actually doing some damage. It's not really... Well, I guess it kind of is. Yeah, looks like it's filling up. Looks like I'll probably run out of space. Okay. So yeah. Yep, I just lost an item now. In fact, we get to see that it was lost over here. Nice. When we get the UI, let's allow you to start a new town in another tab. Actually, people probably would like that as a feature. If you had multiple towns and you had to manage multiple towns and you had different adventurers in different towns. This is pretty neat. The game is just fully playing itself right now. New game plus. It's like side game equals. Yeah, I'm running out of space to put all these potions. I guess it's because customers are being stupid right now. Yeah. We add in some workers, add in some customers. Yeah, I suspect the biggest piece of feedback on Friday is going to be, what am I supposed to do once I'm in this state? Auto battling was something I'd planned on having unlock for you at a certain amount of money, which we just didn't get to today. I got to check in what I did, by the way. Yeah, so up the remaining time to 10. This is fix dodge percent. I had locked it to 100%. Okay. But then this was an actual change. Raise auto repeat battle time to 10s. There's also a label rendering how many seconds remain. Is there a mechanic that makes frequently recurring items less expensive and the opposite for rare items? No. You mean changing the price of items? Yeah, prices are constant right now. It would be kind of interesting if there were different prices, I guess. It's a magic snake that poisons you and gives you immortality, right? No, it kills you. Could start their own town, simulating playing one main town and one sub town. There's like a dark world. It's like your adventurers died and they're all just skeletons there. Yeah, supply-based pricing. Okay, so there are certain decisions, and this is what I think is kind of the problem of a game with this setup, is like, if we wanted to add in deep decision-making, where would we do it? And if there's not going to be deep decision-making, then there's either almost no decision-making or there's very light decision-making. So when it comes to, okay, potions now are worth whatever, 10 times the amount that they're normally worth, you'll be like, oh, I guess I'm going to the potion places and I'm getting potions. It's like, that's not really a big decision I feel you have to make. And I'm not insulting the idea. I just think, what should the decision tree be in a game like this? And right now, what I think it works out to is, what are you choosing for your adventurers? What are you choosing for your player? And how do you balance the different ways you can spend your money? That's pretty much it. So is that, good enough? I don't know. I don't know. So that's what I want to see. What do people say about this? Again, for those who haven't heard and missed out on me saying it a million times already, you will be able to play this for free on Friday. You can consider it to be like a V0.2. So there's no music, there's no sounds, there's only 4 classes in the game. And, the list goes on of stuff that you'll notice is missing. But the main thing that I want to do is give feedback on all of the stuff that's listed here. So, did you have fun? Did you play the first version of the game? How'd you find out about the game? And yeah, any other thoughts you'd like to share? So if you find bugs, if you're like, oh, I really want there to be something else to do, or I want there to be 10 more classes, or this is perfect as is. And anyone that dies is, well, so I see what you're saying. Is it just you who becomes a skeleton? Is it poison that does that? Is it a magical snake that caused that to happen? I think what I'd like to say is, it's just the poison from that snake. and no one else has ever been bitten. That's it. That's all there is. Are you going through feedback on stream? Unfortunately, I can't easily do that because of this section right here. Consider providing your email address. So if I can't show those on stream, but I can redact it and then go through it. So yes, on Friday, I will probably be looking at this form and showing a roll up of what people have said and also kind of focus on some of the other things. So if you look at this one, for example, I can show you the responses rolled up like at the top here. This is for checkpoint 1, is after 1 month of development. And most people, 60% of people said, yeah, it was fun. 20% were like, this is the best game in the world. And then 20% said, nah. And how'd you find out? Everyone found out through me. And one person found out through one of their friends. And then where would you want to play this game? I'm removing this question for the next one because I assume it's not really going to change. And also it's not really going to change my outcome. So why ask everyone the question? They leave the battle with the potentially drop to provide another player choice. Oh, you're saying like it's the forest, so you can only take 2 items, but 10 dropped. Could be kind of interesting. I still think the decisions you make. Okay, so there's a game called Moonlighter, and I don't know how to show what I want to show here. Maybe this. Anyway, the game worked kind of similarly, and I know this is a blurry picture, but there was an item price here that you could set. So like these silver rods, they're just an item. Who knows what they are? Who cares? But customers put a certain value on them. And if you price them at $250, maybe customers will turn up their nose and say, no, that's too much and not buy it. And you had a limited amount of time to sell things for. So you had some tension between like, okay, do I set the price lower and just make sure I get rid of these things? Do I set it higher and hope to make more money from it? At the end of the day, though, you could just kind of look up what value this should be. and the gameplay kind of equates to, okay, set it to some price, kind of binary search your way through it and maybe write down what your history was yourself. And it just doesn't, I just feel like there's something lacking in that process. So I'm a little torn on something like that. That said, I will still write it down as an idea because it's something to turn over later and see, does it work? Does it not work? Why is this not open? Here we go. There. Curious that it takes you pick up from the data. Well, I will say this from the first one, and I can't scroll down any further to all of the responses, but there was a lot of feedback and I wrote it all down and we tackled as much as we could in like a month and a half. So if you look through any of these issues, for example, there was something like, where is it? Here, clamp camera boundaries. So we got 3 pieces of feedback and I just copy pasted right what people had said into here. People are like, hey, I can move the camera into a way where I can't even see the battles anymore. So it's like, cool, we fixed that. That's no longer a problem. And we got lots of little pieces of feedback like that where now the game should just feel different. One of the other things we got as a piece of feedback was like, where is it? Here. Did I actually click that? No. Another piece of feedback we got was, hey, I don't know what the point of doing other battles is. I don't understand how it's picking my party. It was just randomly picking. You had 3 adventurers and it was like, hey, this dungeon takes 2, just throw 2 of them in. People are like, why did it pick those 2? Well, now you can pick those 2 and you can say, I want the rogue and the mage, and you start a battle and it's the rogue and the mage. So a lot of those paper cuts are now going to be gone. And I think people will be able to focus more on the gameplay. There's still some confusing stuff that's unfortunately the lack of time or resources we put in. For example, when I watched my friend play the game over the weekend, he saw the fireball. If you watch this battle here, you see a fireball graphic right there, but you do not see a lightning graphic. And he thought, oh, lightning's not being used. It is being used. It's just there's no graphic for it. So you just see damage numbers pop up, but you always see damage numbers pop up. So it's really hard to tell that was because of lightning. Well, that's something that when we have a lightning graphic, I'll happily put it in the game. We just don't have one yet. In fact, I think that's something we should try to do before the game launches. Add a lightning graphic. Maybe even just make it a projectile, even though it should be different eventually. Pull it from the Oryx graphics. Yeah, I think a placeholder would be a good idea. Because wherever I got that fireball from, it was somewhere in the Oryx graphics. Maybe FX. Yeah, they have fireballs here. I don't know if any of these really looks like a lightning bolt. Not really. But like we could just make it that blue thing and scale them down or something. Yeah. If you ever have any sort of crafting in the game, the idea of having limited inventory and deciding what loot you pick up does add to the decisions for the player. Yeah. The way X could be used is close enough. Yeah, we could show a bunch of those. Yeah. Or just name it whatever, magic missile, and use these things. Magic lightning zaps missile. Yeah, so I guess I'll write this here. Big question is, what is the decision tree for the player? I think true idle games are just numbers go up. But other games have some tension between objectives. And I think there's a minor amount of tension here, but the idleness just kind of paves over all of it. And this is the key of any idle or automated game like this. I can just set auto battle in the forest. This earns me $3. So on average, I'm going to earn maybe $3 or $5 from beating this instance. But guess what? I can just leave my computer. So when I come back, I'll have 5,000. And it didn't really matter if I chose the best battle party or chose the best location or anything like that. And that's always going to be an option in this game, is just go to a low level place. And the way that true idle games get around this is they make it so that, okay, yeah, sure, you're getting $3, but guess what you need? 3 million. Are you going to wait around for 3 million battles? No. So you got to find a more optimal way. And I just don't want that to turn into the gameplay for this game. Remember you mentioning lightning zap, so I can't find it. I mean, I just talked about, like, could we get graphics for it? What I was picturing, by the way, is lightning bolts just appear from the top of the screen and strike the enemy. So it's not obvious that they're coming from the mage, but the mage is the only one that has a lightning ability, so it's obvious for that from that perspective. You can do that? Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. Are there going to be different difficulties? No, I don't think so. Because there's no real losing this game, so I feel like it's just permanently set to easy. As long as there's a way for you to upgrade and you're not kind of locked by a hill that's too high to climb over in terms of money. So, you know, the next upgrade costs 3 million and you have $10, then yeah, it should be easy enough to do. And I think really in terms of the feel of the game and like what's going through your head at the time, I look at this as kind of similar to Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley doesn't have an easy mode or a hard mode. It's just take things at your own pace. And the only thing it's going to equate to is you spend a little bit longer doing some things. I guess there are some tasks that might be too hard for certain people, like maybe fishing and maybe combat. But everything else is like, if you have the dexterity to press some buttons, you should be able to accomplish them. To have a time to beat leaderboard for various events. Yeah. I guess if the game can't encourage you to do it, it's get social pressure, essentially. I think the problem with the leaderboard in a single player game, though, is it's trivially easy to goof the data. You know, people were talking about Twitch tie-ins. Like, what if there were... I'm just thinking out loud here, and I don't have anywhere I'm going with this. What if each of these represented somebody in chat? And the chatters could have some input, like drop item. It just dumps the potion on the ground. I mean, that's all chat would ever do, right? It's not like chat would help you play the game. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I feel like if there were Twitch integration, it would just be put some names over these, which is what someone else had suggested. I think Vafi did. Oh, there's no way to start a battle and have it be an auto battle until you've completed it. I don't think that's a problem. Wow, the mage is like way better than the cleric. I wonder if the warrior can beat the dungeon. Yeah, looks like he can. Anyway, I think I should keep going. But this has been a very, very good day. We got a lot done. I'm gonna push this code. What did I change here? Oh, nothing. Just jittering this whole thing. I don't know why this changes like this. I'm just gonna revert this. Maybe there's a reason. Yeah, just close these things. All right, let me push this straight into main. Let's go find somebody to raid. I'll be back on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the last stream before the launch of the game, because the launch is going to be on Friday. I am very, very excited for that. Okay, I don't feel like going through all this list. Let me just find someone I'm already following. Okay, I'm going to send you over to Fail to Survive. He's playing Minecraft, longtime viewer, incredibly helpful in chat. Cool person. If low tier zones only drop specific items, market saturation of those items could lower the value over time, encouraging players to not just idle lower tiers. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down too, because this is, and I appreciate this, Tyler. These are the kinds of things that I think I do need to consider. Yeah, player choice. Okay, I will see you all on Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. See ya.